All right, settle in, grab a lukewarm coffee from the break room pot, you know the kind, taste vaguely of regret and forgotten dreams. Name's Dave Miller. Been slinging code and wrangling misbehaving hardware at Innovatech Solutions for a little over 5 years now. Not a bad gig mostly. We're not Google or Apple, but we keep the lights on, and until he arrived, it was a pretty decent place to earn a paycheck and occasionally feel like a minor deity when you resurrected someone's terminally ill spreadsheet. See, I'm what you call an old school IT guy. If Sarah from marketing's PowerPoint decides to take an unscheduled vacation minutes before a client pitch, I'm not gonna tell her to fill out Form 34B in triplicate and wait for a confirmation email. I'm gonna dive in, work some command line voodoo, and get that presentation back on its feet. Time is money, right? And frankly, navigating our official ticketing system, Resolve IT, felt like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded, underwater, while being tickled. Frank, my old boss, a gem of a guy who's probably fishing his golden years away right now, got it. Dave, he'd say, peering over his bifocals, just keep the natives happy and the servers humming. Paperwork's for when things really hit the fan. Wise words. I live by them. Then Frank traded his ergonomic chair for a fishing boat, and then waltzed Mr. Alastair Smith. The man looked like he was born in a freshly pressed 3-piece suit, hair slicked back with the kind of gel that could probably withstand a hurricane, and a T-square permanently embedded in his spine. He came from one of those monolithic corporate behemoths where an unauthorized coffee break could trigger a multi-departmental investigation. His first all-hands IT meeting was less of an introduction and more of a declaration of martial law. "Good morning, team," he began, his voice as crisp and devoid of warmth as a freshly formatted hard drive. "It has come to my attention that certain informal support practices have become commonplace. This is, to put it mildly, suboptimal." He paused, letting suboptimal hang in the air like a bad smell. "From this moment forward, all list support requests, without exception, will be logged through the Resolve It ticketing system. Every single one." He tapped a manicured finger on the mahogany conference table for emphasis with each word. "This is non-negotiable. It ensures accountability, allows for accurate workload tracking, and projects an image of utmost professionalism. Are there any questions?" Silence. The two junior guys, bless their fresh out of college hearts, looked like they'd just been told their student loans had doubled. I, however, felt a familiar itch, the kind you get when common sense is about to be sacrificed on the altar of bureaucracy. "Mr. Smith," I ventured, keeping my tone as neutral as a Swiss diplomat, "I understand the need for tracking, but for minor issues, a password reset, a jammed printer tray, wouldn't creating a ticket actually reduce overall efficiency? It often takes longer to log the ticket than to fix the problem." Smith's lips thinned into something resembling a smile. If a smile could be weaponized. Efficiency, Miller, is born from order, and order is born from process. If everyone simply helps out as they see fit, how can we possibly generate accurate metrics? How can we justify headcount? How can we demonstrate to upper management the sheer volume of critical tasks this department handles? He leaned forward. "You are a cog in a machine, Miller, a vital cog, I trust. But a cog nonetheless, and cogs follow the blueprint. Am I clear?" "Crystal, Mr. Smith, clear as mud, but crystal." "Yes, sir," I said, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. The next few days were a transition, let's say. I tried to be subtle, help a colleague, then quietly remind them to log a retroactive ticket, but Smith had eyes like a hawk and ears like a bat. I was counseling Brenda from HR, a lovely woman who considered hitting reply all an advanced IT skill, on why her monitor kept going to sleep. No ticket. Smith materialized in her doorway, silent and ominous, like a tax auditor at a Tupperware party. "Miller," his voice could freeze coffee, "is there an active Resolve It ticket associated with this consultation?" Brenda, bless her, tried to jump in. "Oh, Mr. Smith, Dave was just quickly—" "I wasn't addressing you, Brenda." Smith cut her off without a glance. His laser-like gaze remained fixed on me. I sighed internally. "Not yet, sir. I was just about to advise Brenda on the correct procedure for... Just about to? He savored the words. The directive was clear, Miller. No ticket, no support. This is your final verbal warning. The next instance will result in a formal written reprimand and will be noted in your personnel file. That night, nursing a beer and staring at the blinking cursor on my personal laptop, something snapped. Or maybe something clicked. That beautiful, malicious, perfectly compliant idea. Smith wanted process, he wanted metrics, he wanted professionalism. Oh, I'd give him professionalism. I'd give him so much damn process he'd drown in it. A slow Cheshire cat grin spread across my face. All right, Alistair, old boy, I murmured to my empty apartment. You want to play by the book? Let's read every single damn page. Monday morning, the dawn of a new era. Sarah from marketing, a bundle of frayed nerves and last-minute panic, practically skidded into my cubicle. Dave, lifesaver. My wireless mouse just died, the batteries I think, and the Henderson report is due in, like now, can you just... She gestured vaguely towards my drawer of spare batteries, the one I usually kept stocked for just such emergencies. I swiveled in my chair, bestowing upon her my newly minted official IT support smile number 1. Polite but firm. Good morning, Sarah. I'm terribly sorry to hear about your input device malfunction. That does indeed sound like a pressing matter. Now, the correct protocol, as established by Mr. Smith, requires you to log this issue via the Resolve IT portal. You'll want to select hardware malfunction, then peripheral device, and provide a detailed description. If you could include the approximate time of failure and any error messages displayed, that would be most helpful for our diagnostic process. Once submitted, your ticket will be assigned a priority level and addressed by the next available technician in the order it was received. Sarah blinked. Once. Twice. Hey, a ticket? For batteries? Dave, come on, you know this is a 5-second fix. Her voice was rising in pitch. Indeed, the resolution may be swift. I conceded, my smile unwavering. However, adherence to protocol is paramount for accurate data collection and departmental efficiency tracking. Mr. Smith has been most emphatic on this point, I'm sure you understand. She looked like I just asked her to translate the report into ancient Sumerian. Muttering something about bureaucratic nonsense, she flounced off, no doubt, to begin her epic quest through the labyrinthine menus of Resolved. Next up was Mark from accounting, a perpetually stressed man whose computer seemed to have a personal vendetta against him. Dave, my man, the printer's jammed again, same as last week. You know the trick, right? Greetings, Mark. Smile number 1 deployed again. A recurring printer jam, you say? Most vexing. Please ensure you log a ticket in Resolve IT. Category printer issue, subcategory paper jam. It would be beneficial if you could note the model number of the printer and the type of paper being used at the time of the incident. The system will then allocate it accordingly. Mark stared. Are you serious, Dave? It's the same jam? Just poke it with that ruler thingy you do? While my ruler thingy technique has proven effective in the past, Mark, I said, a model of calm reason, unticketed interventions are no longer permissible. For audit trail purposes, you see. He threw his hands up. Audit trail for a paper jam? This place is going nuts. And so it went, all day, every day. Password resets? Please submit a ticket. Can't connect to the shared drive? A ticket would be the appropriate first step. Monitor flickering? Kindly log the details and resolve it, and we'll schedule a diagnostic. I became a polite, smiling, unyielding automaton of process. A high priest at the altar of Alistair Smith's ticketing system. The first week, the grumbling was mostly directed at me. Dave's changed. Power's gone to his head. This new SIP is turning him into a robot. I took it all with serene composure. I was merely an instrument of policy after all. By week 2, the landscape began to shift. Resolve IT, designed for maybe a dozen complex issues a day, was now drowning under a tsunami of hundreds of trivialities. The queue stretched longer than a CVS receipt. My 2 junior colleagues, bless their cotton socks, were running around like headless chickens, trying to figure out how to prioritize a cannot find Comic Sans font ticket versus a my screensaver is stuck on the flying toaster's emergency. The real work, server maintenance, security patch deployment, planning the network upgrade was gathering dust. The grumbling now had a new target, Mr. Smith and the glorious efficiency of his system. Finance couldn't close out the month because of a persistent software glitch they ticketed 3 days ago. Sales was missing targets because their CRM access was slower than molasses in January. A ticket for that was languishing somewhere in the mid-priority queue. HR sent out an all-staff email announcing a delay in payroll processing due to unforeseen IT complications. Mr. Smith, to his credit, or perhaps his monumental cluelessness, doubled down. He called emergency IT meetings. He demanded more detailed reports on ticket resolution times. He implemented a color-coded dashboard to track our performance, which mostly showed a sea of red. I don't understand it. He'd exclaim, pacing his office, which was Kagwandroi Nainan Namuchageso Ohiyor Seza, in the eyes of the staff, too neat to be comfortable. The metrics from my previous engagement clearly indicate that with a system like Resolve IT, productivity should be increasing. One afternoon, he called me into a sterile, minimalist office. "Miller," he said, steepling his fingers, "I've noticed a, shall we say, zealous adherence to the ticketing protocol on your part. Commendable, in a way." He paused. "But are you perhaps being a tad inflexible?" I met his gaze, my face, a perfect mask of earnest compliance. "Mr. Smith, I am simply endeavoring to follow your directives to the letter. You emphasize the critical importance of the ticketing system for metrics, accountability, and professionalism. I wouldn't dream of undermining such a crucial initiative. A flicker of something, annoyance, uncertainty, crossed his face, but was quickly suppressed. "Quite. Yes. Well, carry on, Miller. Good to see such dedication to process." "Thank you, sir," I said, turning to leave. "Process is, as you say, everything." The whispers in the hallways grew louder. "Did you hear? Marketing missed the deadline for the new campaign launch graphics because IT took 2 days to reset a password. Accounting is threatening to riot. Apparently, their main database server has been running at 5% capacity for a week, ticket pending. The office coffee, already a source of collective despair, seemed to taste even more bitter." Then came the day that would forever be etched in Innovatic lore as the Harrison Incident, or as I privately called it, the glorious meltdown of executive privilege versus immovable process. It was a Friday, not just any Friday, but the day of the big pitch. Innovatec was courting a massive potential investor, the kind that could either launch us into the stratosphere or leave us picking through the wreckage. Mr. Harrison, Executive Vice President of Making Things Happen and Making Heads Roll, was leading the presentation. Harrison was a force of nature, loud, demanding, but usually fair, and he did not suffer fools or delays gladly. 15 minutes to showtime. The investors were in the lobby. Mr. Harrison was in the main conference room, pacing like a caged panther, muttering to himself as he tried to open his meticulously prepared, all singing, all dancing PowerPoint. Tried and failed. A cryptic error message mocked him from his laptop screen. The air temperature in the room seemed to drop several degrees. "Miller," the roar echoed down the corridor, rattling windows and coffee cups. "Get Dave Miller in here, now." I was, at that precise moment, diligently working my way through ticket number 638. User reports suspicious pop-up ad for discount toupees. Possible malware? It was just a browser notification setting, but hey, process. I proceeded with measured, professional haste to the conference room. Harrison's face was a symphony of purple and crimson. "Miller, my presentation, it won't open. The investors are practically at the door. Fix it, and fix it, yesterday." I took a calming breath, smoothed my slightly rumpled but regulation-compliant polo shirt, and activated official IT support. Smile number 2, grave concern mixed with reassuring competence. "Good afternoon, Mr. Harrison. My apologies for this unforeseen technical difficulty. It does appear to be a matter of some urgency. If you, or perhaps your assistant, could kindly log a ticket in the Resolve IT system detailing the error message, the file name, and the operating system version, I will ensure it receives the highest possible priority within our established queue. You could have heard a pin drop. Then you could have heard Mr. Harrison's jaw drop. It made a distinct, almost audible thud. A ticket? He sputtered, his voice a strangled whisper that was somehow more terrifying than his roar. Miller, are you out of your damn mind? The future of this company is riding on this presentation, and you're telling me to submit a goddamn help desk ticket? Sir, I said, my voice a paragon of calm reason, though my palms were sweating enough to irrigate a small desert. Mr. Smith, our head of IT, has implemented a strict policy. All support requests, regardless of perceived urgency or the requester's hierarchical standing, must be channeled through Resolve IT. This ensures proper documentation, facilitates resource allocation, and allows for comprehensive performance metric analysis. I am, of course, bound by this directive. Failure to comply would result in disciplinary action as per Mr. Smith's explicit instructions. I paused, allowing the full weight of corporate procedure to settle upon him. I can, however, offer you the URL for the Resolve It portal, and I'd be happy to walk you through the ticket submission fields if you're unfamiliar with them. Mr. Harrison's eyes bulged. He looked like he was about to spontaneously combust. He took a step towards me, then seemed to think better of it. He spun on his heel, his face a mask of cold fury. Smith, he bellowed, the sound cracking like a whip. Get Alistair Smith in here. If he isn't in this room in 30 seconds, he can start updating his resume. Alistair Smith practically teleported into the room, looking like a man who had just seen his meticulously organized life flash before his eyes. Smith, Harrison jabbed a finger first at me, then at his inert laptop. Your man here tells me he can't fix my mission-critical, company-saving presentation until I fill out a bloody online form. Explain this, efficiency, to me. Explain it before I lose what little remains of my Christian charity. Smith turned a rather fetching shade of pale green. Mr. Harrison, sir, the protocol is designed to streamline, to ensure that all requests are handled equitably and... Equitably? Harrison exploded. Are you telling me my request to save this company from financial ruin is on par with Mrs. Higgins from accounting needing help finding the any key? Is that your idea of equitable streamlining, Smith? He took a deep, shuddering breath. Fix the damn computer, Miller. And Smith, my office. After this meeting, and you better have a damn good explanation for why my IT department is suddenly operating with the speed and efficiency of the DMV on a holiday weekend. I nodded curtly to Mr. Harrison. Certainly, sir. Bypassing Resolve IT, I had the presentation up and running in under 3 minutes. A corrupted, temporary file. Child's play. As the investors were ushered in, all smiles and handshakes, Mr. Harrison shot one last icy glare at Smith, who looked like he might faint. The rest, as they say, is the stuff of office legend. Mr. Smith did indeed have a very long, very uncomfortable meeting in Mr. Harrison's office. The next Monday, an email from Harrison's office landed in everyone's inbox. Subject: Revised it support protocols for enhanced operational agility. It was a masterpiece of corporate doublespeak, essentially saying, forget that ticketing nonsense for small stuff. Just get it fixed like you used to. Resolve IT wasn't scrapped entirely. It went back to its intended purpose, logging major system issues, tracking project progress, that sort of thing. The flood of trivial tickets dried up overnight. My colleagues in IT, who had by then figured out exactly what I'd been doing, bought me a rather large, very good bottle of single malt scotch. Sarah from marketing even baked me a cake shaped like a computer mouse with fresh batteries. Alistair Smith was a changed man. Humbled, perhaps. He still loved his spreadsheets and his metrics, but he also started asking for our input. He even on occasion was spotted helping someone himself without a ticket, though he always looked a bit guilty afterwards. And me? I went back to being Dave, the IT guy who just made things work. No sainthood, no statues erected in my honor. But every now and then, when a new manager somewhere in the company would try to implement some new, overly complicated streamlining procedure, someone would invariably say, "You might want to run that by Dave in IT first. He's got a way with process." And I just smile my official IT support smile number 3. Because sometimes the best way to fight a ridiculous system isn't to break the rules, but to follow them to the glorious, bitter, and utterly satisfying end. Now, about that next story, this one involves a rogue coffee machine and a very determined pigeon.